On the news tonight, federal government flags off national environmental sanitation in response to cholera outbreak in Nigeria. Correspondent on special assignment examines ways of livestock farmers overcome challenges posed by COVID-19. Plus, Nigerian Army urges to maintain its core mandate as 2021 Regimental Sergeant Major Convention holds in Ibadan. Details shortly. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Udwak Etam. To contain the increasing number of deaths caused by cholera, the federal government has flagged off a national environmental sanitation in response to cholera outbreak in Nigeria. Onengie Fineface reports.
Unhealthy environmental sanitation and hygiene practices are said to be major causes of cholera outbreak.
Normally they re-clean it morning, but before 30 minutes you see the place is filled up with dirt again. It's filled up with dirt. When you are passing, urine will be smelling in your nose. You'll be hailing the odor of poo-poo.
Recently, cholera outbreak has affected several states of the country, including the FCT.
There's one man here from Mali. He died a few weeks ago. I learned that he was purging before he died.
How do take control of the cholera? Because without education, people who don't know how to take control of the cholera.
And to contain further spread of the outbreak, the Federal Ministry of Environment is flagging off a national environmental sanitation response to cholera in Bazango, a community in Kubwa, which is an epicenter of the outbreak.
Environmental health officers in the states and local governments across the country have intensified their efforts in carrying out sanitary inspection of premises and abatement of nuisances that could result in cholera outbreak and other diseases.
Expectations are that with improved education, people will become more conscious of how to take care of their environment and reduce their exposure to cholera. Onengie Fineface, Nta News.
Mandate Dr. Ifedayo Morayo Detifa on his appointment as the new Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, by President Muhammadu Buhari. Dr. Detifa will carry on the mandate of the agency in leading the prevention, preparedness for detection and response to infectious disease outbreak and public health emergencies in Nigeria. His appointment, which will take effect from 1st of November, follows the recent appointment of the current NCDC Director General, Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu, as Assistant Director General of Health Emergency Intelligence at the World Health Organization, WHO. Dr. Ifedayo Detifa is an epidemiologist and consultant pediatrician. He is currently an Associate Professor of Infectious Disease Epidemiology at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, United Kingdom. Dr. Detifa is also a clinical epidemiologist at the Kenya Medical Research Institute. He is a graduate of the College of Health Sciences, University of Ilorin, Kwara State, who completed his specialist training in pediatrics and child health at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. The new NCDC boss is a fellow of the West Africa College of Physicians. He currently serves on the World Health Organization's Africa Regional Immunization Technical Advisory Group, Malaria Vaccine Implementation Program, Advisory Committee, and World Health Organization Technical Advisory Group for Respiratory Virus Vaccines. The Minister of Health thanks the outgoing NCDC Director General, Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu, for his leadership of the agency in the last 5 years and wished him well at his new appointment. 379 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed from 18 states in the country as at 6th September 2021. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says Lagos has the highest number of 138 cases, followed by Rivers with 44, FCT 26, Ekiti 23, Oyo 22, Akwa Ibom 18, Adamawa and Delta States 17 each, Anambra 15, Edo 14, Ogun 13. Others are Bayelsa 8, Niger 7, Kwara 6, Gombe 5, Plateau 4, Kaduna and Kano 1 each. The total number of confirmed cases of the disease in the country stands at 195,890, with 184,882 persons discharged. 2,556 died from the virus. Away from health matters, the outbreak of COVID-19 no doubt has changed the face of many sectors of the economy, including livestock farming. But experts are optimistic that the productivity and profitability of livestock can once again return if farmers adopt modern and new approach to livestock management. Clement Barikwe reports.
Nigeria's livestock production is estimated at 326.7 million annually, thereby contributing greatly to the nation's economy. But the outbreak of COVID-19 may have cut down this figure, hence the need for farmers to adopt best global practices as they battle to overcome the challenges of COVID-19 era. Among such measures, animal scientists say include use of quality feeds, ensuring high health standards, optimizing environmental conditions, and sound knowledge of market requirements.
Truly, COVID-19 has a challenge, has posed a problem to us. We are going to witness a lot of deficit in terms of food production, animal product from now on. You cannot, while farming, while raising the animal, one is careless with his or her health and then dies while the animals are alive.
Returning Nigeria to the days of bomber livestock production after COVID-19, the agriculturists maintain, requires government input.
One way is for government to strengthen the extension services in their different states that will convey the technologies in agri development and livestock production to the farmers at the rural level. Whether we like it or not, we must run away from peasantry agriculture. In other words, we must run away from extensive means or mode of livestock keeping in this country.
With Nigeria being an agrarian nation, effective livestock management in a COVID-19 era, the animal scientists say, is a sure way of food security in the country. In Uyo, Clement Barikwe, NTA News.
With the rains at its peak in Cross River State, South Nigeria, indiscriminate dumping of waste into the drains has been identified as major cause of flooding during rainfall in the state. Paul Ebel has the report.
It is a common sight in Nigeria's south region to have coastal floods, and Cross River is not exempted. There seems to be a slight twist from the norm because the state has not witnessed any coastal flood this year. The state capital, Calabar, with a good network of drainages, allows rainwater to be emptied into the river minutes after rainfall. In spite of these facilities to mitigate flood, few areas in Calabar South and Calabar Municipality are still prone to flooding when it rains.
Poor waste management. You can see a lot of condemned tires were dropped into the channel. These ones, once they are there, they impede flow. And normally the storm water carries sand and other debris with it. Once they meet such obstacles, they continue to pile up until water will not flow. So if we manage our waste properly, we will have a reduced incidence of flooding.
Research shows that flooding comes with several consequences to households, commuters, businesses, roads, and other facilities.
As the rain is dropping, if everywhere is wet and flooded, business activities will not strive well. Customers will not come. They don't have where they will step in or step out to visit where they are buying or they are selling.
What I see that it used to affect economic activities, that it will just slow movement of vehicles and queues of vehicles will just be happening around.
When we experience a heavy downpour, you discover that the water flood has covered the runabout all, and some motors have a commotion of jamming themselves, and the effect from people, instead of the taxis dropping in the normal place, some drop at the middle of the road. The water has already eaten the road, and the road has gotten inside. The road is already been bad.
With Cross River on the list of NIMET as one of the 34 states to experience flooding this year, what is the role of government and residents in preparation ahead of the prediction?
So we are calling on government establishments, government functionaries, all the people patrolling, monitoring the green areas to make sure that those areas that are always conserved are well conserved. Then the flooded area, they should look for a way to put up drainages to make those areas dry at all times.
The relevant agency on a drainage system, like the waste management, those who are in charge of environment, should always ensure they go around, do routine check on all drainages, all blockades, so that all this kind of flooding should not be continuing.
We will look at keeping the drains free of any blockage. Where we need to reconstruct, we will advise. The ministry, as an MDA, is constantly educating the populace on how to manage waste. You see, they dropped waste receptacles here and there so that people don't throw waste indiscriminately. If we desist from dumping waste indiscriminately, this incident will greatly be reduced.
It is hoped that when all and sundry play their roles, the issue of flooding will be properly checked in the state. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The regimental sergeant majors of the Nigerian Army must always sustain the duty of being the custodian of discipline, ethics, and regimentation of the Army, for it to maintain its core mandate to the nation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, said this at the 2021 Regimental Sergeant Majors Convention held at the 2 Division of the Nigerian Army, Ibadan. Lare Beleye was there and has the report.
In every unit of the Nigerian Army, there is an army officer charged with the responsibility of monitoring discipline and ethics of the army. That army officer is the Regimental Sergeant Major, the RSMs. Being the custodian of the Army's regimentation, the RSMs are key to the Army chain of command. And to emphasize their importance, this year's convention of the RSMs was based on how to improve professionalism in regimented environment, the RSM perspective. The Chief of Army Staff charged the Regimental Sergeant Majors not to relent in their efforts in ensuring that the primary core of the Army, which is the RSM's responsibility, remains intact.
In every unit, the RSM is considered as the father of that unit. He is the one who keeps the history, the tradition and customs of that unit. And if there is any issue to be cleared about those aspects that concern regimentation, RSM is the last resort. And when he speaks, that ends it.
Goodwill messages from the Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, was delivered by his Chief of Staff, Segun Oguniyi, who described the nation's army as the bastion of professionalism and discipline which any nation will be proud of. The Regimental Sergeant Major Convention is an annual event in the 2 Division Nigerian Army in Ibadan. Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
Zamfara state government has shut down more business centers and roadside markets in some local government areas of the state as part of new measures to curb insecurity. The State Commissioner for Information, Ibrahim Dozara, who announced this at a press conference in Koso, says the security measures already put in place have started yielding the desired results. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
As the renewed commitment to achieving lasting peace in Zamfara state persists, the state government has continued to come up with additional measures aimed at winning the battle against the armed bandits and their collaborators. Closure of some popular business centers and joints across the state are some of the latest measures announced by the state government.
This includes the immediate closure of the following places suspected to be harboring bandits and their collaborators. 1. Yarhanya in Tudunwada area of Gusau local government. Mayanchi Anka Junction Auran Namoda Jibia Junction, Lambar Bakura Junction, Colony Irini Junction.
The Commissioner for Information said security operatives have been directed to take over the affected places with immediate effect, as anybody found in the areas will be dealt with accordingly. Dosara, who says the ongoing operation against the armed bandits across the state is yielding the desired result, enjoined people in the state to continue to support the effort towards the restoration of lasting peace.
The troops, led by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, who relocated to the state about 3 days ago, have been combing the forests and the bandits' enclaves all over the state and are dealing with the bandits. The efforts by the military have been a huge success.
It will be recalled that Zamfara state government has since 27 August 2021 suspended all the weekly markets across the 14 local government areas of the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Still watching Nta Calabar News at 7. You can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NTA Calabar. We'll take a break for now and more news when we return. Stay with us.
As news breaks from the north, south, east, and west of Nigeria, we bring it to you. News from the length and breadth of Cross River State is sent to you via this channel.
With movers and shakers in various spheres of influence talking to us, we carve a niche and showcase our experience in broadcasting. Because it's NTA Calabar before others.
You can't get this anywhere else. It's only here on NTA Calabar News, showing at this times 3 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 p.m. every day. NTA Calabar News. Our experience counts.
Welcome back and thanks for being there. The local government congress of the APC in Cross River State was adjudged as peaceful by some stakeholders of the party. Maureen Liu Ajom completes the report.
The local government congress of the All Progressives Congress took place in all the 18 local government areas of Cross River State. Observers at the event adjudged it is peaceful and smooth. Areas noted for violence in the past for electoral matters like Calabar South local government area witnessed calm as the exercise was devoid of rancor.
Everybody we have sent from each of our ward, all the word I have to charge you with is service above self. Keep your personal interests aside and let the party be supreme.
There is no victory if there is no struggle.
Some concerned leaders of the party expressed delight for the smooth conduct of the exercise, which culminated in the emergence and presentation of chapter executive members to the public and INEC representatives. In Calabar, Maureen Liu Ajom, NTA News.
The Akwa Ibom State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC expresses worry and distress over the news of the kidnap of one of its chieftains, Senator Nelson Effiong. The state chairman of APC, Dr. Itau Dosen, on behalf of the party, urges the DSS, Nigerian Police Force, and other security outfits to urgently swing into action to rescue the kidnapped senator. The party regretted the dastardly act and urges the security agencies to ensure that those behind the kidnap are made to face the full wrath of the law. APC, in a statement by the State Publicity Secretary Nkeruwe Ekere, advises Senator Nelson Effiong's family and the general public to provide useful information to the security agencies to aid his rescue. The statement adds that the party promised to do everything within its powers to ensure Senator Effiong's release, while urging party faithful to continue to pray for his safe return to his family and the party fold soonest. The kidnapped Senator Nelson Effiong is the immediate past senator representing Akwa Ibom South Ekach Senatorial District. Her story went viral and all for the wrong reasons. She was accused of severely beating and harming a minor entrusted in her care as a housemaid and leaving her marked for life. Cordelia Okoma has been looking into this case that has generated public outcry.
The level of injury inflicted on the little girl indicates a pure case of man's inhumanity to man. Cane marks all over her body and a huge scar on her left shoulder is an obvious sign of repeated scarring of that particular part of the skin. And as for her charred lips, Newsline gathered it was as a result of the little girl being forced to drink very hot water, which also burnt her tongue and apparently throat. The same hot water was mixed with pepper and poured on her body, in addition to flogging her with iron. What was her crime, you may ask? She allegedly broke a plate.
It's even different when you say maybe the person picked up a machete by the side or a rod and hit the person. Maybe that rod is just there and it's spontaneous. You just hit the person at the bottom. But this one, you went to boil hot water, you prepared everything, and within the time you didn't have any kind of change of mind, and you went and executed the act. So I look at such people as being possessed by the devil.
Abia State Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Olowo Ayinla, has condemned the act in very strong terms, urging parents to be very careful about who they entrust their children in their care.
There's every reason to empower the mothers out there so that they will not be. Then again, there should be holistic, free education. Free education. Every child. There's this Child Rights Act. That law should be enforced to the letter. Let every child have the opportunity of going to school. Now, if you go to school, it ends poverty.
The young lady in the middle of the controversy, Zizi Ojugo Kelechi David, looks so innocent you can swear for her. She is no doubt a society lady from all indications of her posts in the social media, which have now been pulled down as she has seen the bad side of the same social media since the story broke.
That is it on our news tonight. Thanks for watching and good night.